Morning, everyone. Welcome to First Appearance Court. My name is Stephen Zachor. I'll be the judge this morning. You're here because you've been arrested and charged with a criminal offense. The purpose of this morning's hearing is, first of all, to let you know what you've been charged with. Second of all, for me to determine if there's probable cause to hold you for those charges. Third is to determine any appropriate release conditions, which could range from being held without the ability to post bond down to released on your own recognizance with no restrictions, and just about anything in between. You are entitled to an attorney for the purposes of these hearings. Someone from the Public Defender's Office. There's Ms. Strickland in the main jail, and Mr. Afzal is here in the courtroom. So those services are for your benefit. If you choose not to use the services of the public defender, that's your right. You're allowed to have a private attorney. I don't see any in the courtroom as of yet, but that may happen as well. Lastly, as these proceedings are recorded by audio and video means, everything you say will be documented and could be used against you in the future. There are representatives from the state attorney's office present in the courtroom listening to everything we all say. So if you say something that they want to use against you in the future, they'll have that ability to do that. So the moral of the story is exercise your right to remain silent. Do not talk about the facts of the case. When addressing the court, please limit your comments to your ties to the community, how long you've lived in South Florida, who you live with, family and friends down here, your employment, things of that nature. With that said, we'll get started with Ms. Liana Escueta.
Judge, just so that you're aware, Mrs. Escueta, as well as her husband, were both arrested.
Yeah, I know, it's a cross.
Here, stand on the side. Can you stand on the side, please?
Good morning, Mrs. Escueta. You have been charged with one count of domestic violence battery. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. Any history from Mrs. Escueta?
No, Judge.
You said no?
No.
Pen doesn't work. There we go.
Pause. What's he saying?
Judge, in Mrs. Escueta's case, she doesn't have any priors. I believe both of the victims are not interested in pressing charges. I know that's not currently for the court to consider, but without having any priors and the fact that there doesn't appear to be any participating victim, I don't know if you would consider an ROR on Mrs. Escueta.
All right, Mrs. Escueta will be ROR.
Thank you.
Janet Marie Dillon.
Per-hour jail, Judge. I did speak with her whenever the court is ready.
Good morning, Ms. Dillon. You've been charged with one count of domestic violence battery. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit, and I do find probable cause.
Judge, I'm going to ask for a mental health screen.
Okay, that'll be ordered.
Judge, ma'am, do you give me permission to talk to the judge what you talked to me about before? But you won't be able to hear, but... Ms. Dillon?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to turn off the microphone for a second so your personal information doesn't get broadcast all over the world, okay? No, we're going to do it. You don't have to do anything. But you did it anyway. Hold on. Oops, Dad.
Ma'am, I'm doing my best to convince the judge to release you. Do you know, if you're gonna stay with Lisa, do you know her phone number and her address?
Lisa?
Yeah.
She lives in Shenandoah. I don't know her exact address.
Or she,
Wayne would bail me out, but I don't have my cell phone or my phone numbers. They wouldn't let me get my saline.
where's your
or
cell phone?
iodine. At my house, 431 Southwest 135th Avenue, Davie, Florida 33325.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put her on pretrial release pending verification. I'm going to appoint your office so that you guys can help her get. And then as a condition of the pretrial release, it's going to be. Yeah. And then as part of the pretrial release is going to be mental health services through. Was it Henderson you said?
Yeah, Central Branch. Miss Roberts is my therapist.
If I needed you to come to court tomorrow, you and your boyfriend, could you guys come to court tomorrow?
I don't have a boyfriend. I'm single. That was my stepfather who raped me last week while my mom was in
I
Alabama.
don't think anybody was asking about
Give
your
me a
boyfriend.
call and check. I don't really know what's going on.
I'm married, so I definitely wasn't
I'm
asking.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Okay.
Johnny
All right.
Face
I'll talk to
Curio?
you. I'll get back to you. But
There's where you gotta
get in
report the
touch with me,
pretrial.
see if necessary, if you guys can come to court tomorrow. All right. Thanks, man.
Mr. Curio or Miss Curio, Johanny. We're still on,
Coming up, Judge.
we're still on females. Ms. Curiel, good morning. You're charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause.
No priors, Your Honor.
Judge, this is also a cross arrest, and I believe the alleged victim does not want to prosecute. Don't believe Ms. Curiel has any significant history. Would you consider an ROR?
Who's the,
There's a cross arrest?
Yes, Judge. I know the PC doesn't say that.
Yeah, but usually I pick it up. What's the victim in this case, defendant in the other case's name? Would it be Anthony Roy? Anthony Curio?
Yes, Judge, he's here.
He is? All right, I'll take your word for it.
oh yeah, it's on page 4.
He's there. All right, it'll be an ROR. Good luck to you, ma'am. Paradise Clark?
No contact, Your Honor?
No, I'm leaving contact.
Okay.
No contact. I don't need to sign it.
Okay. Okay.
Ms. Clark, you've been charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause.
No priors, Your Honor.
Right. Go ahead, Ms. Strickland.
Ms. Clark is currently a high school student. She does not have any priors. School started back today. I don't know if you would consider an ROR.
Where are you going to school, ma'am?
Coral Springs High School,
What grade are you in?
12,
How are your grades?
like a BC average.
Where are you going to college?
BC, then FMU,
Okay, what are you going to study at BC?
education and teaching.
You want to teach?
Yes,
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Where are you going to live when you get out?
at a friend's house.
Do we have any victim contact on this one?
There was no contact here.
All right, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Special conditions of that release on your own recognizance is you graduate with a BA average.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Vicky Akel,
we're at the North Broward Jail.
are you Miss Akel? You can stay seated, that's fine. Miss Akel, you're
Okay,
charged with
thank
1 count of domestic violence battery.
Judge, I didn't have
I
it.
find probable cause for a battery, but nothing in here mentions what the domestic relationship is.
I'm sorry, Judge. Who's this?
Do you have any criminal history?
I see a 2001 possession of cocaine, drug paraphernalia. I see
Any victim contact?
There was no contact here.
2005 at a Boynton, there was a grand theft. possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. A severe domestic violence battery, 2014, that was dropped.
Miss Akel, are you going to have somewhere to live separate and apart from Leslie Rex?
Yes, I got an apartment yesterday. I was in the middle of packing.
Okay.
And all I did
Don't talk about the
was
facts. Don't talk about the facts of the case. It's not in your best interest, okay?
yeah, I got an apartment. I was packing. All I asked for my jewelry.
Didn't I just say not to talk about the facts of the case?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Michelle,
It's for your protection, not mine.
the number for confinement.
Okay.
All right. Are you working?
No, I'm on disability. I have HIV and AIDS. I mean, I have hepatitis and AIDS.
You said no contact on this one? Yes, no contact. All right, Ms. Akel, I'm going to give you a $500 bond. You're not to have any contact with Leslie Rex until further order of this or any subsequent court. Understood?
Understood.
Good luck to you, ma'am. Sarah Dahari? Okay, who's here? Come on up, folks, if you want. Good morning, Ms. Dahari. You're charged with 1 count of aggravated battery, domestic violence. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. Present in the courtroom are, your name, sir?
Brother, mother, father, my name's Adam.
Your name is what? Adam. And you're her brother? Your brother Adam is here, and your mother Diane Dahari is here as well. Your name, sir? First name? Zion Dahari is here as well. All right? As I said, I do find probable cause. Any criminal history?
Judge, as to the probable cause argument, are you finding the remote to be a deadly weapon, or are you finding that the injury caused permanent disability or disfigurement? There was a cut on the ear, allegedly by a remote control.
Well, it's charged caused bodily harm. Aggravated battery causing bodily harm.
But it has to be great bodily harm or permanent disfigurement to be a
According to
aggravated
the
battery.
probable cause affidavit, the ear was split. And certainly the remote was not used in a manner normally used by a remote. So yes, I do find probable cause. Any criminal history? Who wants to tell me about their sister, daughter?
She works for her. She's working in trouble.
What kind of work is she doing?
An interior designer, she works for me
Okay. How long has she been working for you?
5 years.
Who does she live with?
She lives with herself, she has her own apartment.
What about this Mr. DeVerger? Does he live with her?
No.
He was just there for the night?
No,
Apparently.
he wouldn't leave.
So that the residence that this occurred in is her residence?
And he managed to stay the night while she got arrested.
Well, list that as his residence too in the police report, just so you know.
Excuse me?
It's listed as his residence as well in the police.
Absolutely not his residence.
I'm not debating it, man. I'm just telling you. I can only go by what I read. I've known about this case for 5 minutes, so I only know what I read in the police report.
All the time.
Because the condition of her bond is she's not to have any contact with Mr. DeVerger, which, from what you're telling me, doesn't sound like that should be a problem. I want to make sure before I make a condition like that, that what the residency situation is. Because if they live together, then someone needs to move. So if it's her place, then that makes it a lot easier. All right, how long has she lived in South Florida?
Most of her life.
How old is she?
Since she's 3,
How old is she?
she'll be 30.
Okay, and besides the 3 of you, who else is down here? What other family down here?
Brother, another sister that lives in California, but cousins. Uncles,
No, I mean in South Florida.
cousins, uncles.
Okay, she's got a lot of family then.
Yeah.
All right, what kind of bond could she afford?
Oh,
She's never had any priors since she got out of ROR.
That's right, you're not a morning.
Well, what I'm asking is what kind of bond could she afford? I
Judge, I don't
don't
know
know.
if you'd
She works for
consider
you.
a
I don't
low
know what kind of
bond.
money she makes. Okay. You want to say something, Ms. Strickland?
Yes, Judge, we can't hear so much of what's going on over there. We can hear you, but we can't really hear the family. I know that.
Her brother's a little soft-spoken. It just that is a microphone, but it's not the greatest. So just speak up a little
Judge, she does have employment. She does have a place to live. It's not going to be a problem not having contact with the victim. She has no prior history. Obviously, she does have family in the community. I don't know if you would set a low bond, something maybe in the area of $1,000. I don't even know if the state will file an aggravated battery. Also, the probable cause indicates even on scene, the alleged victim did not want to go forward, did not wish to press charges.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her on pretrial release,
I know.
which is basically an ROR. She's going to have to report in person when she gets out the first time. After that, it's bi-weekly by phone. Standard conditions of pretrial release. The only additional condition will be no contact with Mr. DeVerger. It shouldn't be a problem, I don't think, but. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Judge, if they don't get out till late in the afternoon, they can go tomorrow morning, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay, thank you.
So I didn't hear that. What was that?
If she gets out too late today to report to pretrial release, she can report tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, what time do they close? For reporting?
For reporting, usually if she released today before 3, she'll report today. If not, first thing in the morning by 8 a.m.
Okay. She'll get it, she has the piece, all the instructions are being handed to her right now.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
good luck to you folks.
Thank you.
Terrence Jones. Your mic's off, Miss Strickland.
I believe the alleged victim is in the courtroom.
Well, somebody is. I'll find out who it is in a second. Mr. Jones, you're charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your name, ma'am? Okay, Ms. Mackey is present in the courtroom. Does he have any criminal history?
Yes, Your Honor. Pulling it right now. Okay, theft 2014. Aggravated stalking, criminal mischief 2011. Violation of a protective injunction 2013, that was dropped. Resisting without violence and trespass 01. Burglary of a dwelling 98, 34 months state prison. Resisting without violence, 2 separate cases 97. Possession of cocaine 96, 35 months state prison after a VOP, and resisting without violence 95.
Is that without or with in the last one?
Without.
Okay. Ms. Mackey, what do you want me to know?
Nothing, it was just a misunderstanding. We live together, we're married. Someone else called the police. We got in an argument in the street, so someone called the police.
Okay, Ms. Strickland? Judge, Mr. Jones does have significant ties to the community. He does have a job. He works in a warehouse. I understand he does have some priors. Some of them are older. He also, if the court doesn't want him staying with Ms. Mackey, he could live with either his mom or his sister. I don't know if you would consider a low bond in this case. It appears that the victim does not want to press charges, and she, even according to the probable cause, appeared to maybe have instigated some of this by possibly pulling the steering wheel, possibly causing an accident. I'm not saying any of that is true or not true. I'm just saying even from the probable cause, there does appear to be some type of a mutual combat type situation.
Okay, as I said, I do find probable cause. Bond's going to be $1,500. As a condition of bond, there's to be no contact directly or indirectly with Kyle Mackey. Kyle? No, Kylie. Sorry.
So he can't come home?
Not until further order of the court. This will go before a judge who's going to have permanent jurisdiction over the case. There's lawyers on both sides that know more about the facts than I do. And if the judge decides to change her mind, it'll most likely be Judge Katie McHugh. If she decides to change her mind, then she can change her mind. But for now, it's no contact. Okay? Good luck to you folks.
Thank you.
Jorge Dene Julio Tapia.
Judge, we would like to have an interpreter.
All right, we'll reset it.
Spanish. For later this morning?
Yes, if we can.
Okay.
Eric Martinez?
It was so weird. No interpreter showed up on Friday. Yeah. But I don't know. We're here.
Judge, I believe he also needs an interpreter.
All right. Joseph Escueta?
Judge, this is one of the ones that was a cross arrest as well.
Right. Good morning, Mr. Escueta. You're charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. Does he have any
No, Judge.
All right, as this is a cross arrest, basically, let's see, what's her name?
Leanna.
Leanna Escueta, and ROR, Mr. Escueta as well.
Thank you, Judge.
James Scott. James Scott.
North Broward, Judge.
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor.
I didn't get a chance to speak with him.
Morning, Mr. Scott. You're charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery and 1 count of misdemeanor possession of marijuana. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit, and I do find probable cause. Does he have any history?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. He is... Sorry. 5016. He's currently out on bond for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting with violence. 2014, he was convicted of violating a domestic violence injunction. 2014, he was arrested for 1 count of aggravated battery, another count of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of violating pretrial release conditions. Those charges were dropped. 2014, arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant victim, dropped. 2013, arrested for aggravated assault and aggravated battery on a pregnant victim, dropped. 2013, arrested for felony battery due to priors, that was dropped. Resisting with violence, 2008. In 2009, aggravated assault, a deadly weapon, and felony battery due to priors. 09, felony battery with priors. 03, robbery by sudden snatching and battery.
Those last 2 were not dropped?
No.
Okay.
03, robbery by sudden snatching and battery, sentenced to 41 months state prison as a habitual offender. 03, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or distribute, just under 42 months state prison. 96, escape, 44 months. 94, aggravated fleeing and eluding grand theft auto, 25 months. Strong arm robbery, possession of firearm by a felon, 95, 25 months. And armed burglary of a structure, 92.
Okay, any contact with the victim?
There was no contact here.
Okay. And you said you didn't get a chance to speak to Mr. Estelle? I'm gonna inquire. Mr. Scott, how long you lived in
Yes,
South
sir.
Florida?
All my life.
And how long is that?
40 years old, sir.
Okay, are you working?
Part-time for Scott Colony Property Management.
Okay. What kind of work are you doing for them?
Landscaping.
How long have you been working for them?
Almost 2 years now.
Have any friends or any family that lives down in South Florida?
My sister lives in South Florida.
Okay, anybody besides your sister?
Duncan.
Just my sisters and my immediate family.
Okay. Are you gonna have some place to live separate and apart from Dominique McFarland?
Yes, sir.
All right. On count 1, it's gonna be a $5,000 bond. Special condition there to be no contact directly or indirectly with Dominique McFarland. Count 2, there's no charge for the misdemeanor marijuana possession. And Mr. Linder, did you have a case number on the Bat Leo resisting without?
Yes, Judge. It is 15-5016 CF10A.
And Mr. Scott, apparently you're out on pretrial release in case number 15-005016 CF10A, as I find probable cause that you committed a new offense. While out on pretrial release, I'm going to revoke your bond in case number 15-005016 CF10A, and you'll be held no bond on that count, that case.
What? May I have a word, John?
You may, but I wouldn't talk about the facts of your case. It's not in your best
No.
interest. You have who's representing you in that Bat Leo resisting without violence?
They just might not have put
George Rivera.
It happened over the weekend.
So he was here Saturday.
Oh, Junior. George Rivera Jr. So that's
Based on when he
still
was
in conflict?
arrested, I would guess
He's on
Saturday.
his own?
So why wouldn't it be?
You hired Mr. Rivera?
Because the clerks
Yes,
are
sir.
here over the
Give him a
weekend,
call.
so they just start putting stuff into the computer from over the weekend.
He'll explain it to you better than anybody else can, because you'll be able to have a free and open conversation with him.
I want to say by the
Possible
afternoon,
week. I understand the court made its ruling, but since he is
Hold on a
represented by private counsel,
but we'll get it for you.
should we at least call him and let him know he's in custody? Because sometimes over,
Call, you want to hold him? If Mr. Rivera wants to come this afternoon, I can do that.
just one moment, I gotta call him. I don't know if I have,
Go
I
ahead, have a
don't,
seat, but don't go anywhere yet, okay?
Senior or junior? 'Cause
Yes.
I saw George.
I think it's Junior.
is it senior or junior?
The son.
The son.
Son, okay. Thank you. Who did you see? Mr. Jones?
The older one.
Oh, okay.
Here, I think I can get
All
it
right,
for
just
you.
go have a seat. We're gonna see if we can get him on the phone.
Duran,
Bitch, I don't have his number.
Gentlemen, you want me to call?
Oh, no, I'm good, thank you.
John Baptiste.
Duran Duncan.
Yeah.
All right. I've got Saturday's docket here.
Good morning, Mr. Baptiste. You're charged with one count of misdemeanor domestic violence battery.
Got it.
I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit.
I think.
I do find probable cause.
Yeah, James Scott. Could you check the persons? Oh, Your Honor, can we put this on recall? Apparently the victim is on their way to court.
All right, Mr. Baptiste, we're gonna put this on recall because Miss Old is on her way. Rory Curiel?
April 4th.
Judge, this is also one of those cross arrests.
Right. Good morning, Mr. Curiel. You're charged with one count of domestic violence battery.
One moment, Your Honor. I don't think so.
No priors, Your Honor.
No priors? All right. No criminal history. This is a cross arrest. Mr. Curiel will be ROR.
Thank you, Judge.
You're allowing contact?
I'm allowing contact. Carrie Ray Stott?
Yes.
Morning, Mr. Stott.
Good morning, Your
You're
Honor.
charged with one count of domestic violence battery. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit and I can find probable cause.
Just for mitigation purposes, I noted that in order, the victim didn't sustain any visible injuries. I'm just looking at what's alleged, doesn't seem to match what you figured. You would think that there would be some injuries.
Any criminal history?
2013 DUI property damage. 2013. One moment. Okay, 2013 battery, criminal mischief. 1994 DUI. 92 traffic fleeing and eluding with a reckless driving.
Okay, any contact with the victim?
There was no contact, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Ms. Strickland.
Judge, Mr. Stott does have a job. He does live locally in South Florida. He works as a crane technician. I believe on one of his priors he completed either a probation or a diversionary program. I was wondering if you would consider pretrial release.
Not really comfortable.
Did the state say whether or not they had contact with the victim? I didn't hear.
No contact.
Would also note that this would appear that this could end up being filed as a felony battery.
All right, it's going to be a $1,000 bond. As a condition of the bond, there will be no contact with Jamie Marie Scott. Robert McKenzie. Good morning, Mr. McKenzie. You are charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery, and then you have a warrant, case number 11053640 TC10A. Mr. Riris? Do you have a second? Hold on, Mr. McKenzie. One of your clients, Mr. Scott, we just put him on recall, so. Okay. Do you have a second to wait? Sure. All right, let me just finish, Mr. McKenzie, and. No problem.
What do you want?
Go ahead, Mr. McKenzie, come on up. We'll finish up. Sorry about that, sir. 1 count of domestic violence battery, and then you have a warrant, traffic warrant, case number 11053640, and a misdemeanor warrant, case number 13019-693 MM10A. Regarding the battery, I do find probable cause. Does he have any history besides the traffic?
I'm showing an arrest February 27th of this year in Miami-Dade for battery. I don't know what's going on with that case at the moment. He also, let's see what's going on with that. See an arrest for theft in Dade, January of this year. I don't know what's going on with that case either.
Okay.
I do see, though, a different individual sought an injunction order of protection against him out of Dade County in December of 2014.
Okay, any contact with this victim?
There was no contact, Your Honor.
All right. And go ahead, Ms. Strickland.
Mr. McKenzie does have significant ties to the community. He does have a job. He's a barber. He does have a place to live that would be separate and apart from the victim. I don't know if you would consider a low bond. I did explain to him that there are those capiases that I don't believe you're going to touch those bonds, that he has to go to court for those. But if you would consider a low bond on the battery.
All right, it's going to be a $1,000 bond on the battery, and then on the traffic warrant, there's a $2,500 bond. On the misdemeanor warrant, there's a $5,000 bond, and he has a court date on March 31st at 10 a.m. Thursday. And no contact with Corrine Bradford as a condition of the bond. All right, Mr. Scott at North Broward. Morning, Mr. Scott. We were able to find your lawyer.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Riris is now here. Mr. Riris, I found probable cause on both new charges. Based on his criminal history, I set a $5,000 bond on the domestic violence. There's no charge for the marijuana. And I did revoke his bond in case number 15005-016, CF10A. As I find probable cause, he committed a new offense. Mr. Scott began to want to kind of plead his case. So I cut him off, told him to call you, and here you are.
Mr. Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. The judge has revoked the bond on the case that you're out on bond 4, and obviously that's appropriate. I'm going to be out to see you in a couple days, okay?
I don't see why he revoked my bond.
Well, Mr. Scott, any arrest, regardless of whether it's proven or not, is potentially going to get your bond revoked. So that's something that we'll talk about when we come out and I come see you at North Broward, okay?
All right.
And anything you say now is on the record, so let's talk in private, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see you in a couple days.
Good luck to you, Mr. Scott. Thanks, Mr. Riris.
Appreciate it.
Say hi to your father.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
Bevel Simon?
Judge, deputies have told me he's on medical loan.
Okay, I'll reset it for tomorrow at 1:30. Amy Stewart?
Hunter, do me a favor. This one, make it come on. Do about stuff that will give you additional clearance.
Good morning, Mr. Stewart. You're charged with 1 count of domestic battery by strangulation. Count 2 is a misdemeanor warrant, case number 15002-898 MM40A. That's possession of marijuana charge. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. Any history?
He's out on a possession of heroin. He's also got, he was 155351 CF10A. Also was arrested in 2011 for domestic violence battery by strangulation. that was dropped. Possession of cocaine, marijuana, 92. End of record as far as Broward.
Contact with the victim.
The victim has no safety concerns, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Strickland?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what the state just said about the victim.
No safety concerns. The victim has no
safety
concerns.
Judge, I don't know if you would consider a low bond on Mr. Stewart. He does have a place to live separate from the victim. He has a job working construction. He's worked the same job for 5 years.
Edmund?
Well, to be honest with you, regardless of the low bond I set on count 1, I'm going to revoke his bond in case number 15005-351 CF10A. As I find probable
Judge,
cause.
on that case, Mr. Stewart did indicate that he's represented by Don Williams. I don't know if maybe we can reset this so Mr. Williams can be present and see if the court would consider not revoking his bond.
I can hold him over to the afternoon if Mr. Williams can be here.
Okay, Judge, if we could try that.
It's fine. Put him on the afternoon. You're talking about H. Don Williams, right?
Yes.
I don't know of any others. I just want to make sure we're calling the right
Yeah,
person.
no, that's...
Robert Shaw. Oh, the interpreter snuck in. I didn't see you there.
Mr. Shaw has a private attorney, Judge.
Who is it?
Don't get in touch with him.
He hasn't gotten in touch with him yet, but who is it?
Who is it?
Jessica.
He doesn't remember his name, Judge.
Okay, well, we can do it without whatever his name is, if you want, or we can try to reset it if you want to get in touch with whatever his name is. But realistically, you're being held no bond on a violation of probation, which is not going to be altered I can't alter it, so it's your call. But you have a court date on March 30th, 2016. This is what, Wednesday? On the VOP.
Judge, do you want to set a bond as to the battery? I explained to him that the violation of probation is going to keep him in, and then he'd have to see Judge Robinson on, I believe, Wednesday. Yeah.
Do you want to do that, Mr. Shaw, or do you think you'll be able to remember your lawyer's name and get in touch with him so he can be here this afternoon?
No, I would have
What do you say? Gil, what are you doing? I'm sorry.
Judge, I think he'd just like to go forward. I don't know if he'll be able to get in touch with his lawyer.
Okay. I have concerns about that as well. All right, Mr. Shaw, you're charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery. And then, as I said, you do have that violation of probation warrant in case number 12-010-191 CF10A. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit, and I do find probable cause. Does he have any criminal history other than the probation case?
2012 unlawful use of false name ID. 2008 DUI. 2008 DUI. 2006. It looks like he pled a DUI out to a reckless driving, Judge.
Okay. And did we have any victim contact?
There was no contact, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to set a $1,000 bond on count 1. As a condition of that bond, there's to be no contact with Dana Waite. And as I said, you'll be held no bond on the VOP, and you'll see your judge on March 30th at 8:30 in the morning. And Ms. Strickland, we have the Spanish interpreter, so if we can call Mr. Julio Tapa.
What happened to all my cases I put there?
Then Mr. Martinez and anybody else who needs those services.
I had cases sitting there.
Okay, this is Mr. Julio Tapa.
Good morning, sir.
Buenos días, señor.
You are charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery.
Se le acusa de un cargo de agresión física, nivel violencia doméstica.
I do find probable cause.
Encuentro causa probable para el cargo.
I'm now going to ask the state of Florida if you have any prior criminal history.
Ahora mismo le voy a preguntar a la fiscalía si usted tiene antecedentes penales.
I'm also going to ask if the victim has any input.
Y también voy a preguntarle si la víctima tiene lesiones.
Victim has safety concerns and she's getting a restraining order.
Dice que la víctima tiene preocupación por su seguridad y está pidiendo una orden de alejamiento.
This is Jorge Dene Julio Tapa.
No priors.
No prior? All right. right, the state informs me you have no criminal history.
Señor, la fiscalía me está informando que usted no tiene antecedentes penales.
Ms. Strickland, did you have an opportunity to talk to him? I don't know if you speak Spanish.
Yes, Judge, I spoke with him briefly. We have an interviewer in the courtroom that does speak Spanish.
Okay.
Mr. Julio Tapa does indicate he does have a place to live, separate and apart from the alleged victim. Even from the PC, it appears they were not actually living together at the time, although it does appear they have a child in common.
Ms. Strickland, we have an interpreter, so could you just slow down a little bit?
Aparentemente usted no estaba ya viviendo junto con la víctima.
I think she translated that he has a place separate and apart from the victim to live.
Okay,
After that.
and he does not have any prior history.
Right.
And also, according to the probable cause,
Y encuentra causa probable para el cargo.
it does indicate the victim is declining to prosecute, as well as the fact that Mr. Julio Tapa got punched by the alleged victim's current boyfriend.
Y que está no quiere acusarlo a usted la víctima.
Is he working?
¿Usted está trabajando?
He says he's currently working part-time. He's coaching baseball.
Que usted trabaja temporalmente de entrenador de béisbol. Yes.
Okay. It's going to be a $1,000 bond.
Van a ser $1,000 de fianza.
No contact with
Y no puede usted tener contacto con
M. Abreu.
con la señora M. Abreu.
Okay.
Okay, ¿entendió? Yes.
Eric Martinez.
Thank you, Judge. I'm sorry?
Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Buenos días, señor Martínez.
You are charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery
Se le acusa de un cargo de agresión física a nivel de violencia doméstica
and resisting an officer without violence.
y resistir al oficial sin violencia.
I do find probable cause.
Encuentro causa probable para el cargo.
I'm going to ask the state if you have any criminal history.
Voy a preguntarle a la fiscalía si usted tiene si tiene antecedentes penales.
And if the victim has any input.
Y si tiene lesiones la víctima, si sufrió de lesiones.
Victim has no concerns with safety, Your Honor.
Dice la fiscalía que la víctima no está preocupada por su seguridad personal.
One moment, Your Honor. I gotta. No prior, Judge.
Y usted no tiene antecedentes, dice la fiscalía, señor.
They have to be somewhere.
Okay.
Kiva, I'm just responding. I wasn't yelling. I know. Kiva, it's not yelling.
Correct.
Go ahead, Ms. Strickland, whenever you're ready.
Judge, Mr. Martinez does have a job. He works as a carpenter. He does have a place to live separate from the alleged victim. He can live in Hollywood with his father. He's never been arrested before. I don't know if you would consider pretrial release with an ROR.
Señor, está explicando la señora Strickland que usted tiene un trabajo, tiene trabajo en la actualidad, trabaja de carpintero y tiene un lugar para vivir que no es con la víctima, puede vivir con su padre en Hollywood, dice.
Okay, I'll place them on pretrial release.
Le está dando un programa pre-trial release para que lo suelten de la cárcel.
Is to have no contact with Jeanette Elise Raraz.
Señor, y usted no puede tener ningún contacto con Jeanette Elise Raraz.
Judge, can the interpreter also just tell him that I'm going to be giving him a piece of paper on where to report, and then he's going to have to follow the conditions of pretrial release?
Señor, la señora Strickland le va a dar un papel, un documento, donde dice usted que dónde es que usted se tiene que reportar inmediatamente y le van a dar, ese es el pretrial release, el programa, y le van a dar instrucciones ahí.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else need a Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguien más que necesite la intérprete?
Yes, Judge.
In.
This is Mr.
Perez.
Perez.
Page.
Do you know what page it's on?
I got Calmo Ramirez Perez.
Señor Pérez o Ferrer, perdón.
Ramiro Perez Calmo.
Es Ramiro Pérez Calvo. Señor,
Yes.
Yes, okay. Sir, you've been charged in count 1, driving under the influence of alcohol.
Señor, lo han acusado usted en el primer cargo de manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol.
Count 2, driving under the influence, causing damage to the property of another.
Y el segundo cargo, manejar bajo la influencia y causar daños a la propiedad ajena.
Count 3, possession of alcohol by a person less than 21 years of age.
El tercer cargo, posesión de alcohol de parte de una persona de menor de 21 años.
Count 4, operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
El cuarto cargo, operar un vehículo motorizado sin licencia de manejo.
Count 5, leaving the scene of an accident.
El quinto cargo, irse de la escena del accidente.
Count 6 is having an improper registration plate assigned.
Y el sexto cargo, tener una placa indebida.
Count 7, no proof of insurance.
El séptimo cargo es que usted no tenía prueba de tener seguro de automóvil.
Count 8, possession of an open container in a motor vehicle.
El cargo octavo sería tener un contenedor de bebida abierto en el vehículo.
And count 9, expired motor vehicle registration more than 6 months.
El noveno cargo es que la registración del carro estaba vencida por más de 6 meses.
I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit.
He leído, revisado la declaración jurada de causa probable.
I do find probable cause.
Y encuentro que sí hay causa probable para acusarlo a usted.
There's a $500 bond on count 1.
En el primer cargo, $500 de fianza.
A $1,000 bond on count 2.
En el segundo cargo, $1,000 de fianza.
And there is no additional bonds for counts 3 through 9.
Y del cargo 3 al 9 no le están poniendo fianza. No hay más fianzas.
Okay?
¿Entendió, señor?
Judge, it's just 1,500 total, 1,500?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other Spanish speakers?
¿Hay alguna otra persona que hable español? Que necesite la intérprete.
Can I see your notes? I gotta fill it in.
Nobody's answering.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Good to see you. Luis Manuel de Sousa?
Which one do you want, Eric Martinez?
No, a bunch of them from the beginning.
Martinez or
No, I missed the first few.
see if I have any ones. Which one do you want?
Hold on 1 second.
Mr. De Sousa, you're charged in count 1 with aggravated battery causing bodily harm, domestic violence. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. In history,
I'm just checking this guy. 1 moment, Your Honor.
contact.
This is for Mr. Luis, right?
De Sousa, yeah.
D'Souza, yeah, Luis. No, there was no contact here.
Okay.
DUI 2010 out of Delray. That's all I have, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Strickland.
I need, hold on. Dylan. at the beginning.
Whenever you're ready, Ms. Strickland.
Judge, yes, Mr. D'Souza was outside when I was calling the names before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. D'Souza had indicated that he wants to hire a private attorney, but for the purposes of the magistrate hearing, if you want me to just argue as far as bond goes.
That's fine.
Mr. D'Souza does not have any real means to post any kind of a bond. He has lived in Broward County for 30 years. He does receive a small disability check. I don't know if you would consider a low bond in this case.
All right, I will impose a $1,500 bond. There should be no contact directly or indirectly with Lisa Michelle Boyd. Dallas Ariel Ostrovsky.
Or Broward Jail, Judge. I did speak with her whenever the court's ready. Judge, I'm going to ask for a mental health screen.
Dallas Ostrovsky. I'm told she's at North Broward.
She's there. I spoke with her. Yeah.
Not there right now,
Oh.
at least on screen. My mic off, no?
This case is a bit, on this case? Well, let's, on this case right now, this has been assigned to Judge McHugh, so you're gonna take the paperwork with you on the case.
Anybody at North Broward?
Wait, we need to increase 1,000.
Okay.
I'll skip her for now. Arlene Davelmar? Oh, wait.
We want to probably get.
Good morning, Ms. Ostrovsky. You are charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery.
Yeah.
I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit.
Wait, are you Ostrovsky?
I'm on Ostrovsky, Ms. Strickland.
It's on North Broward.
We're at North
That's
Broward.
what I thought.
Yeah. Sorry, Ms. Ostrovsky. Let me start that again. You're charged with 1 count of domestic violence battery. I've reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause.
Judge,
Let me get to any history. Any victim contact?
No contact.
Judge, I can tell you that she does live separate and apart from her father, who the alleged victim in the case. She resides with her boyfriend. She's been living here for 14 years. She grew up down here. She graduated from Taravella and Mavericks High School. She's working on getting her GED. She works as a nanny. All her family's down here. She's going to rely on her boyfriend to bond her out. In light of the fact she has no prior record, I would ask the court to release her on her own recognizance.
How can you graduate?
She cleared?
Yes.
Any other issues I need to talk about outside?
Postgraduate.
When I'm thinking of it, what pretrial release, I'm thinking of conditions. Okay. All right, Ms. Ostrovsky, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put you on pretrial release, so you're not going to have to pay any money to bond out, but you are going to have to report initially in person, and then you're going to have to report twice a week by phone. I'm going to ask that you get a mental health evaluation, and any follow-up care or treatment that is appropriate will be considered a condition of your pretrial release. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck to you, ma'am.
There's the phone number for him.
What case is that on?
That was Ostrovsky.
Your Honor, I'm Baptiste, the alleged victim is now present in court.
Oh, okay. Is that Ms. Davelmar at the podium, Ms. Strickland?
Yes, this is Judge.
Okay. Ms. Davelmar, you were charged with 1 count of resisting an officer without violence. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. And your
Judge,
bond...
Miss,
Go ahead.
Judge, I was just going to say that she does live with her mom. She's 25 years old. She graduated high school. She's never been arrested before. She does have a job working in a call center. She had thought that some friends were maybe working on posting a bond, but I don't think that's happened. I don't know if you would consider an ROR.
What do you want, the arrest number? 12-160-0358. Arlene Davelmar. 12 12-16-00-358. Arlene. Her bond was posted. Ms. Strickland, her bond was posted.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
John Evington Baptiste. Good morning, Mr. Baptiste. All right, once again, you're charged with domestic violence battery. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause.
Judge, didn't we already deal with this one?
No, we recalled it because Miss Old is your name? Miss Old was on her way, and now she's here. So we didn't complete. We started it, but we didn't complete it. All right. Does Mr. Baptiste have any criminal history?
One moment, Judge. He has. No history.
No history. Miss Old, what would you like me to know? Please speak up because there's a microphone.
Oh, it's just that we reside in the same home and we'll no longer be together, so I just need time to relocate.
Okay.
He's a good person. He can make mistakes and stuff. So, we both were at fault. So, I just need time to relocate because we both live in the same place.
Okay, and whose place is it?
It's his.
Is it a house or an apartment?
The house.
Does he own it or rent it?
Rent. He's on the lease. It's his name on the lease.
Your name's not on the lease?
No.
Judge, Mr. Baptiste does have a job. He works for FPL. He has lived in the area for about 8 or 9 years. I don't know if you would consider either an ROR or low bond. I don't believe he has any significant criminal history.
He has no history, no.
No. I always say no significant in case there's a traffic situation or some misdemeanor that.
I just go by what Mr. Linder tells me, and he said no history. So
none is better than no significant.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what I'll do is I'll put him on pretrial release.
Judge, will he be able to go back to his own residence?
Well, I am going to put a no contact order in. Miss.
And the victim just indicated she's going to find another residence. It's hard to hear, but that's what we kind of heard.
Yeah, she said she's trying to relocate, but I don't know how soon that's happening because she said she needs some time. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll explain that to him.
Okay. You understand, ma'am? So he's going to be getting out today. He's going to be on pretrial release, and he's not to have any contact with you. So it means you're not to have any contact with him either. Sounds like that's not a problem or an issue, but just so you know those are the terms, okay? And then, any questions? All right, thank you for coming down, man. Heidi Beverly Shea.
North Broward.
Hello, Your Honor.
Sit down and still quiet battery. And then count 4 and another battery.
All right, so say count 1 is the battery.
It's gonna, yes, 2 batteries.
Right. So just add count 5. What? Make it count what?
Judge.
Battery simple.
Same thing. Same as count.
Battery Leo.
Sheila, do you guys have a corrected booking?
No, you don't.
This morning?
Okay.
What's the name?
Heidi Shea.
Your Honor.
That medication is mine, Your
Judge,
Honor.
yeah, ma'am, let me speak on your behalf. Remember we spoke earlier?
Okay.
Okay. Well, Judge, she took the words out of my mouth. I could tell you that count 2, even though the court has determined that, I don't know if, has the court determined probable cause yet? But what I can say to you in terms of mitigation, I'm not arguing against probable cause. I'm just stating that she does state she does have prescriptions. She does have a doctor off of Broward in 441, a Dr. Nash that prescribes oxycodone. So on count 2, she may have a defense. I know there's a violation of probation. I would ask the court to appoint the public defender's office to represent her on this case and the new case, and appoint city public defender on count 4. I could tell you that she's resides in a house in Miramar. She currently gets disability, but however, at this juncture, she has no money in the bank. A lot of her money goes towards expenses, which she shares with her husband. She's been living here for a long time. I would also ask for a med screen and a mental health screen.
All right, both of those requests will be granted. I will appoint the public defender on all counts. I will appoint the city prosecutor on count 4, the municipal ordinance. I do find probable cause as to all counts. As to count 1, the battery on an officer, it's going to be a $5,000 bond. Count 2, possession of oxycodone is a $1,000 bond. The violation of probation, you'll be held no bond. You'll see your judge in Division FK on April 5th at 8:30 in the morning. And count 4, the municipal ordinance, is a $300 bond. Then count 5, the second Bat Leo, will be ROR.
Judge, since they're going to separate count 4, with the court appoint counsel, I think, was this in Hollywood? It would be Mr. Shade.
I did appoint counsel.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
Hollywood, yes.
Judge, what was count 1? People was talking.
The bond, 5,000.
5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much.
Victoria Sanchez.
She's over at the North Broward Jail. I did briefly speak with her. I'm going to call her mom to see if she can bond out.
Okay. Ms. Sanchez, you're charged in 1 count with possession of heroin, count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia, and count 3 is an out-of-county hold for Seminole County. I do find probable cause. There's a $1,000 bond on count 1. There's no charge for count 2, and there's a $500 bond on the Seminole County hold, which I think is a domestic violence charge. It is. Sierra Jasmine Twitty. Where's Miss Twitty?
She's here, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Twitty. You're charged in count 1 with driving on a suspended license as a habitual offender. Count 2 is a violation of your probation in case number 14014-398 CF10A. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $750 on count 1. You'll be held no bond on count 2. You'll see your judge on March 31st at 9 a.m. Shantavia Lashun Swinton.
Judge, I spoke with her.
Can we approach briefly, Your Honor?
Ma'am, I'm going to go talk to the judge on her behalf.
Good morning, Ms. Swinton. You're charged with 1 count of burglary with an assault or battery, and the lawyers are going to come up and tell me something. Am I going off the record? That's what I mean. All right, Ms. Swinton, you are charged with 1 count of burglary with an assault or battery. The state attorney's office and your lawyer, for purposes of this hearing, came up and kind of gave me the full story. Based upon that, I'm going to put you on pretrial release. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with Kashmir Porciana Brown. And understand no contact means no contact of any type. So you can't send anybody else to go talk to her. No phone calls, no text messages. Just pretend she doesn't exist, okay? And as a condition of your pretrial release and to enforce the no contact order, I am going to put a GPS monitor.
And we'd ask it to be level 2, Your Honor. We're not going to ask for level 1.
Level 2, so you'll be able to work and go about your normal daily business. It's just to ensure that you have no contact with Miss Brown. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, just for record purposes, the state is not seeking to hold Ms. Swinton no bond. We're not asking the court to make a determination of proof evident or presumption grade. I've spoken with Ms. Brown, and the state is comfortable with these. Upon speaking with her, the state is comfortable with these release conditions.
Okay. Good luck to you, ma'am. Jessica Hardy?
Yes.
Hold on, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Hardy. You're charged in count 1 with petty theft. Count 2, possession of a harmful new legend drug without a prescription. And counts 3 through 8 are possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find probable cause. Bond on count 1 is $25. Bond on count 2 is $25. Bond on count 3 through 8 are $1,000 each. So that's a total bond of $6,050.
Is there any way, Your Honor, that I can get ROR, a pretrial release? Is I'm eligible for it?
Does she have any criminal history?
One moment.
I got it. Based on what I read in the probable cause affidavit, that doesn't
I see a warrant.
What's her
sound
name?
too
Hardy?
likely.
Jessica Hardy.
Okay, let's check. So, do you know with a hold? Let me see her bag.
What?
Oh, I got it right here. Never mind. Okay, she that might not be her. It's hard to say. No, it's okay. Your Honor, I'm getting hits out of Tennessee for identity theft from 07 and criminal impersonation.
Warrant, she said?
A hit for an arrest with no disposition. And yeah, I'm showing a warrant out of DeLand from August of last year for failure to appear. Not sure what the offense is.
They're not coming to get me. They already called.
So there's a warrant.
Okay, but that sort of lends to the idea that you're
Sure.
not a good candidate for a pretrial release. So
No,
your
what I'm
bond is
trying-
$6,050. Tara Maglico?
North Broward, Your Honor.
For jail, Judge, she's been medically reset
Good
for
morning,
about.
ma'am. Go ahead.
She's been medically reset for 5 days. I haven't had an opportunity to check. She has a pretrial release violation. Is there any way to check to see when her next court date is on the pretrial release? Because I would ask the direct the court to just direct the clerk to set it as soon as possible.
None of that is written on my. I have all the med reset paperwork, and it's not on any of them. So.
They
All right,
haven't.
ma'am. So your bond on count 1, the petty theft, is $750. Count 2, the false ID, is $100. Count 3, the drug paraphernalia, is $100. Count 4, the tampering with evidence, is $1,000. Count 5 is $100, and then you're held no bond for violating your pretrial release in case number 14015-725 CF10A. And I'll direct the clerk, or at least I'll ask the clerk, to set that as soon as possible. Okay?
Do I have a bond on the first one?
You have a bond on the first 5.
So contact.
So the one on everything?
No, you can't, there's no bond on count
That's the case I was
6.
telling you about.
And then the rest of your
Yeah,
bonds
I
on counts
wrote
1
her
through
phone
5
number
add up to 1,000,
If you make a
1,100,
copy.
1,200, 1,300, $2,050.
So I can't, it don't matter, I can't bond out anyways.
Say again?
It doesn't matter, I can't bond out anyways.
Bingo.
Thank you.
Hello. Hey, Cashmere, it's Eric. Just wanted to update you because we had more control over today than we will in the future. The judge put a GPS monitor.
Calvin Jackson.
So she will not be getting access. Excuse me. She will not be getting access
North
to the
Broward.
GPS monitor on her ankle.
Morning, Mr. Jackson.
They'll be calling you to get all her information. He is.
Morning, sir. You're charged in count 1 with failing to register a motor vehicle. Count 2 is operating without a valid driver's license. I do find probable cause as to both of those. There's no charge for those as you have warrants out in case number 15036829 TC30A, 2 counts, and 15075247 TC30A. Your total bond is $550. Good luck to you, sir.
I don't have any money.
Chris Joseph Longo.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Longo. Your charge is 1 count of obstruction of a highway. Your bond is $25. I do find probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Longo wants to know if you would consider offering him time served.
All right, we can bring him back this afternoon, do them with the rest of the municipal ordinances. Oh, it's not?
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll bring him back anyway. We'll do it all at once. Brandon Smith.
954 257 110.
Morning, Mr. Smith. You're charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon. Count 2 is carrying a concealed firearm. And count 3 is carrying an open firearm.
He makes $900 bi-weekly, no kids.
Right.
He makes $1,500.
Add 4. Okay. Bond would need to be set. Okay. What's his criminal history?
Yeah, 2000,
Go over your rights.
2013, he had a child abuse and a felony battery.
He has your number.
2012,
Like I said,
domestic violence battery.
BSO, when she's being released, BSO will contact you and let you know.
Petty theft.
And she will have a GPS monitor on her.
2012,
And
possession of Xanax.
just make sure you
and
talk to
resisting
pretrial
without
when they call
violence.
you on your phone, okay?
2009, grand
You're very
theft
welcome.
and
Have a good day.
petty
All
theft.
right, bye.
2009, fleeing and eluding. 2006, burglary, structure conveys unoccupied with petty theft. And the priors.
Judge, are they charging him with the additional count of possession of firearm by convicted felon?
She gave him a number too.
Can they charge him with the ammunition and the gun too?
They can charge them. What I've typically done is ROR'd them on that.
It's the one medical reset we had this morning.
Ultimately, it would be up to state.
Different one from the week.
The state could charge the
I'm just curious, what's the
What happened
factors in
to
there?
the state is only going to, if they charge, it's only going to charge 1 count. That's why I always ROR on the
Okay.
second count for the most part.
I don't even have it either.
Legally, he certainly couldn't be sentenced for both. I mean, in the end run, so. All right, Mr. Smith, I do find probable cause as to possession of a weapon by a felon. Not really sure I can find probable cause for count 2, Mr. Linder. The carrying a concealed firearm.
One moment, Your Honor.
Sort of conflicts with count 3, the open carrying of a firearm. And they seem, and there's no indication that the firearm was concealed. I think the problem was the police were called because he was carrying it openly and it made people nervous. And the officer saw it as soon as he arrived, sticking out of his waistband. So but I do find probable cause on everything else.
Yeah, no, it would look like under these circumstances it wasn't concealed.
Okay, so I do find probable cause for count 1. I find no probable
saying
cause
something
for
in a
count
second.
2.
So count.
And I do find probable cause for count 3, open carrying of a weapon, and count 4, which is ammunition by a felon. So,
Judge, I don't even have a count 4 on the docket. They added a count 4.
yeah, it was added. But as I just explained to Mr. Afzal, what they're doing is they're charging him for the ammunition in addition to the gun.
Right.
They can
Which
charge
I don't think
him,
they can do.
can charge him for that. I'll tell you, I'm going to
Can't be.
ROR him on that count. Ultimately, if he's charged, he's only going to be charged with 1 count of possession. He'll be ROR'd on count 4. He'll be ROR'd on count. Well, I found no probable cause on count 2. Did you want time, Mr. No. So he'll be ROR'd on count 2.
You wanted to know.
The bond on count 3 is $100.
Judge, would you consider a low bond as to count 1? He does have a job. He works as a landscaper. I mean, I understand the charge. There's no indication there was any violence or any intent to use this firearm. I mean, I understand that they're alleging he had a firearm and he's a convicted felon, but I don't know if you would consider a low bond as to count 1.
Your Honor, and I would just say
I think low is a relative term.
his record, Your Honor.
What else is his tie? What are his ties to the community besides the job?
He lives with his sister, Judge. He's lived in South Florida 29 years.
Okay.
Never missed a court date.
He says he's never missed a court date. I don't have information in front of me, but lives here 29 years, lives with his sister, does work doing landscaping.
All right. In light of that, I am going to set a $25,000 bond on count 1. ROR'd on count 2 as I find no probable cause. $100 bond on count 3, and ROR'd on count 4.
Judge, and I didn't really hear what the state said. The reason for the high bond is because of the priors? You said 25,000 is to count 1?
I said 25,000 is to count 1, and it is because of the priors and the facts and circumstances of the that as put forth in the probable cause affidavit, taking everything, including his ties to the community, into consideration. I feel that a $25,000 bond is appropriate on count 1.
All right, so
Yes, ma'am. Christopher Soda.
Are we getting a corrected copy on this one also?
Good morning, Mr. Soda. You're charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct, 1 count of trespassing, and 1 count of resisting an officer with violence.
Judge, I have a probable cause argument as to resisting an officer without violence.
Go ahead.
My argument is that there's not the officer knows that he's working off-duty security detail. There's no indication that he identified himself as a police officer. Nothing in the probable cause affidavit that he wore a uniform that clearly reads police. Based on that, I would argue that without that information, we don't know if he was dressed in off-duty detail, meaning he was wearing a suit and tie, working there. And if he wasn't acting in the capacity of law enforcement, if he was working off-duty, he wouldn't be working in the capacity of as a law enforcement officer while working for the casino. So I would ask the courts to find no probable cause on that.
Okay, I do find probable cause. Any criminal history?
One moment, Your Honor.
Usually with pretrial release, there is no contact, right?
Usually. Okay, out of the state of New York. 2006, disorderly conduct. 2006, disorderly conduct. 2004, disorderly conduct. Driving while ability impaired by the consumption, DWI, 2002. End of record.
All right, Ms. Strickland.
Judge, Mr. Soda does have a job down here. He works as a delivery driver. I think according to the state, he doesn't have a significant criminal history. I don't know if you would consider maybe a $1,000 bond as to the resisting with violence.
All right, no charge for counts 1 and 2, $1,000 on count 3.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Andrew Johnson.
Come Come up, come.
Morning, Mr. Johnson. You have a violation of probation
Morning,
in
Your
case
Honor.
number 15004-473. You'll be held no bond on that, and you'll see your judge on April 5th at 8:30 in the morning. Wayne Blizzard. Morning, Mr. Blizzard. You're charged in count 1 with driving on a suspended license. Count 2, violation of probation in they don't give me a case number, but violation of probation.
Judge, Mr. Blizzard had
From
indicated
another
that
state,
he's
that's why.
actually,
A general manager at Five Guys.
okay, it's a no bond hold, but it's for another state?
Yeah.
Or he's on probation in Broward?
No, it's for another state.
It was transferred.
He was being supervised in Broward, but the probation's from another state.
Okay, so that means that it's an extradition case where he has to go back to Georgia
Yeah,
to deal
he'll
with the
probably
violation
see Judge
of
Hurley on
probation?
Thursday at extradition court.
Okay.
So it's a $100 bond on count 1, and there's no bond on count 2. Derek Boston,
She's on medical loan.
Med Reset, Tuesday 1:30. Christopher Philip Colosimo. Mr. Colosimo, you have a violation of probation warrant, case number 13017-685. You'll be held no bond. You'll see your judge in Division FH on Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Is it in there?
John Grasmick. Mr. Grasmick, you have been charged 1 count of retail theft, coordination with others. I do find probable cause for that.
Judge, I don't know if he...
$1,000.
I would just say it's a retail theft. It doesn't say that he coordinated with anybody else.
Okay. And count 2 is a probation violation. Interstate, you'll be held no bond on that. You'll probably see Judge Hurley on Thursday regarding the extradition.
And as far as either way, the convenience bond's the same.
Edmund St. Fleury.
Thank you.
Mr. St. Fleury, you've been charged with 1 count of battery on an officer, 1 count of resisting an officer with violence, and count 3, disturbing the peace. Any criminal history? I do find probable cause.
It might have gone to SPU though.
Hello?
Hi.
One moment.
Yeah, I don't know what they told you, but that's wrong. I went to Petco to buy a lizard. I had the money to pay.
You shouldn't be talking about the facts,
doesn't
sir.
want to hear about the facts of the case. Judge, Mr. St. Fleury was just...
Excuse me, this is the first time I ever been in a courtroom for nothing. Like I said, I was just trying to buy a lizard that I had the money for.
Sir,
the manager didn't want to tell me.
Were you there this morning when I made my opening speech?
I was not in. No.
All right, so listen up.
Like I said, since yesterday, I've been moved around.
You need to
against my
listen.
will again.
Are you going to listen, or are you just going to talk over me?
I was trying to talk.
Can you let the judge talk?
Are you going to listen, or are you going to talk? If you talk about the facts of the case, these proceedings are audio recorded and video recorded. Everything you say is being documented. It's not going to help you by talking about the facts of your case, because inevitably you're going to say something that hurts yourself. Just listen. Maybe this is why you got arrested for not listening. You don't seem to want to listen. You just want to say what you want to say. I'm trying to help you out here. Don't talk about the facts of your case.
But it's about facts. I'm sorry. I'm under the attention because when I went to criminal justice.
You understand that these are recorded?
That's why we're talking. There's a video camera. I know this.
Okay, and you understand that whatever you say could be used against you in the future?
Huh?
You understand what you say right now could be used against you in the future?
I'm not afraid of these.
Have at it. Go ahead.
I'm not saying anything.
Go ahead.
Like I said, I walked into Petco to buy a lizard. There was nobody there. I went in, I saw what I liked, I looked at it, I made sure I could tame it before I went to the cashier. Went to the cashier to get somebody to open the case so I could get the lizard and pay for it. The girl said, I need to buy a cage. I don't have to buy a cage. I didn't want the cage. I know what I'm doing with my thing. She went and got her manager. Her manager told me his personal opinion about the matter. I had the money to pay for it. It's false advertising on Petco. If they don't sell me something I have, money to pay. And after that, he said I told him to call the authorities. When the authorities came, I tried to speak to the elderly guy that came first. but he went somewhere else. Somebody else came out talking to the other officer, and along the way as we were talking, trying to press the charge so I could file my report, the other elderly guy hit me, and then they all attacked me. I didn't resist, I didn't fight, I didn't throw no arms, no nothing. It's all on video. The manager was looking in front, hands crossed like I was a wild thing. I told them I didn't want no blood drawn from me. They drawing blood from me. Like I said, I was tased while I was on the floor. They took me a whole bunch of places. I don't know, like, I was moved all around since 1 o'clock. I've been moved all around like 3-4 different places, moving me to site medic places. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to figure out why I couldn't pay for my list and go home. And why am I in a jail cell dressed in blue?
Okay, where do you live, sir?
Where do I live in Oakland Park?
How long have you lived in Oakland Park?
For a while.
Help me
I went
out.
to school down here. A long time.
Where'd you go to school?
Northeast and Northeast.
Finished high school?
Yeah.
He says he finished high school. He went to Northeast. He grew up in Oakland Park.
I finished high school in Fort St. Lucie, though.
I didn't have an opportunity to talk to Mr. St. Fleury, Judge, so if you do want to inquire about
I
his
haven't
time,
had an
he was
opportunity to talk to him. Yeah, I've only had an opportunity to listen.
Nobody has. I haven't had to talk to him.
Well, maybe if you would stop talking, we could get the appropriate information, sir. You just want to
The only
talk.
thing he's trying to decide now is what type of bond, what kind of relief he's going to give you. He's not the judge who's going to hear the facts of your case. He just wants to know about what kind of ties to the community you have to see what kind of bond or maybe pre-trial release he's going to give you, okay? He's just trying to see how to let you out of jail.
But that's the thing. I shouldn't be in jail. I didn't do anything to be in jail.
Okay, but
Well, clearly he's not a candidate for pretrial services because he can't listen to rules and regulations. So, pretrial out.
Judge, would you set a low bond in his case, Judge? I don't know if he has any criminal.
I don't have any criminal issues.
Are you working?
Nothing at all.
Are you working?
Not no more. I left my job Saturday.
Okay, what were you doing before you lost your job?
I worked at State 954 as a prep cook.
Take 954 as a prep cook.
I got
in
it.
the W.
I know where it is. Okay, it's going to be a $1,000 bond on count 1, $1,000 bond on count 2. It's a $25 bond on count 3. Good luck to you, Mr. St. Fleury.
Lucky? What? How do I feel lucky?
Oh, Bernard Young.
Judge Bernard Young, on count 2, can you put in the same case number as count 3 on count 2?
See, he should have landed by a dog.
Only because you asked so nicely, Sheila. Mr. Young, you're charged in count 1 with petty theft. Count 2 is a violation of probation in case number 14014333, CF10A. Count 3 is the same thing. I'm not sure why it's duplicate.
Judge, Mr. Young did indicate he has John Catrone as an attorney, and I see he does have a court date already, so I'll just let Mr. Young know that.
Right, March 30th. $100 bond on count 1, no bond on 2 and 3.
2 and 2.
Timothy Salters. I only have 6 left. Sure, if you want to finish, you can finish. There's only 6 left. Most of them are VOPs. Mr. Salters, you're charged in count 1 with robbery by sudden snatching, count 2 resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause as to both. Mr. Linder, any history?
Yes, Your Honor, one moment.
You can finish.
So
I can leave mine. It might be a little big on you.
Hour or so? Alrighty, no problem.
Yeah, there's only a couple left.
Possession of marijuana with intent to sell, 08. Delivery of cocaine, 06, with a VOP, 22 and a half months state prison. Possession of cocaine, 06, with a VOP, same sentence, end of record.
Okay, Ms. Strickland?
Judge, Mr. Salters does have a place to live. He does have a job. He does roofing. He's lived in Broward County all of his life. I don't know if you would consider pretrial release.
No. Not on these facts.
Who is what?
Al?
I got it.
That was it? Okay.
Judge, who's in the courtroom? Is there someone on this case in the courtroom?
No, that is the administrative judge for the county. Making sure
okay.
that I'm doing okay. She was checking
It's
on
hard
me
to
after Mr.
see
St.
from here,
Florian.
Judge.
All right, so in count one, that is going to be a $5,000 bond. Count two, there's no charge. As a condition of the bond, you're to have no contact with Carol Candler Middleton. And Judge Zeller is going to finish the remainder of the docket. This afternoon, we're going to start a little bit late, 2 o'clock, not 1:30, just so everyone's aware. And with that, we'll be in a 30-second recess.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge.
Back on the record. Hi there. Still a Z. Just Zeller instead of Zakor. Who we got? I have Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is a violation of probation. I find probable cause. We'll have a hearing in your division. And I cannot read the date on this.
It says March 30th,
March
Judge.
30th, thank you. Okay, March 30th at 8:45 a.m. Okay, thank you very much. There is no bond. Joshua Chia?
Judge, I would have arguments as to probable cause from 6 to 10. 5 through 10.
5 through 10.
5 through 10, I would argue no PC.
There's a page missing here. There's nothing much to argue about. Okay, Mr. Chia is charged with speeding, reckless driving, fleeing, possession of a fictitious or false issued driver's license, where there is probable cause, possession with intent to sell or manufacture and deliver cocaine, controlled substance without prescription, and 2 counts of paraphernalia. 4 counts of drug paraphernalia. State, unless there's a page missing,
No, there's no mention. I'm just gonna ask for 24 hours on those counts, Your Honor.
24 hours, counts 5 through 10. And the bond, I didn't add everything up.
got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Well-
500, 3, 4, $5,000 total.
Your Honor, he needs a bond on, unless, if you place it, I missed it. He needs a bond on count 3 for the fleeing and eluding.
Judge, since you're finding no PC as to counts 5 through 10, there's already bonds that are set in those cases. I don't know if you would consider a low bond or an ROR as to count 3.
Let me take a look at that. Wait, give me 1 minute, because they just asked me one thing, so before I go to the next thing, let me answer that issue.
Yeah, I'm sure that's. I'm just gonna reach out to the trooper because I know what you're saying, and hopefully I'll reach a trooper and clarify all that, or he'll get ROR on it.
$1,000 on count 3.
How much, Judge? We just couldn't hear. 1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, David Picard.
That would be North Broward. He's a medical reset, please.
Okay, we'll reset to, well, we might as well just set him in division. That's 3:30. We have to reset tomorrow?
You can, if you find,
Today's date. The 28th?
and if you find PC on count 1, Judge, then you can pass it through.
Just reset it for 1 day.
Sure, why not? We'll make everybody happy. Nathan Chase.
How you doing, Judge?
Terrific. How are you, Mr. Chase? You're charged with failure to re-deliver a hired vehicle. I find probable cause. The bond is $1,000.
Yeah.
That's a third-degree felony.
Yes.
Okay.
Did Mr. Chase indicated that he was making payments on this vehicle, and the company had actually taken $1,000 from him, I guess, to make up for the payments that were in arrears? I don't know if you would consider an ROR or perhaps a $500 bond in this case. She can't dismiss it. It's a felony.
No, that sounds like a defense to me, so not a reason to lower the bond. But thank you. Randy Jarnagan, or however I'm mispronouncing his name. Okay, there's
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. There's 2 counts of violation of probation. There's no bond. I find probable cause. The violation of probation hearing is set April 11th at 8 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Morris Mack.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sir, you're charged with being in possession of oxycodone. I find probable cause. There's expired tag. The bond is $1,000. Okay. That's it.
We're done. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.